Are you thinking about getting a home for yourself and also your family, refinance, or setting up an investment portfolio? Do you know what you need to consider before you get into a mortgage commitment? If you are in the beginning of the process or just contemplating of this idea, then this video is for you.
Welcome to the Money DNA channel. Money DNA is a financial fitness community where we bring everything about money and beyond money concepts in life to help you create healthy money habits and to be financially fit for good. It is important to understand that the advice is general in nature and does not take into account your personal objectives, financial needs, and overall well-being situation, and it may not be appropriate for you.
Hi everyone, it's Winnie here. Thank you for tuning into Money DNA. We'll be looking at initial preparation, getting your home loan ready. Join me today is Vorleak Srey at Veer Finance Advisory Services. Vorleak has been in finance and banking industry for 15 years. Her experience is across retail, private, and commercial bankings, and has been helping hundreds of Australians finding their homes, accumulate their wealth through property portfolios and also business expansion. Vorleak brought her rich experience and knowledge and started her own business, Veer Finance Advisory Services, which provides various of finance solutions and small business expansion and advice service to her customers. Vorleak, welcome to Money DNA.
Thanks, Winnie.
Yeah, so V, would you, do you mind if I just call you V?
Yeah, of course. Yep, much easier.
Yeah, that's right. So V, would you agree that Australia loves properties?
I think it is something that we as Australians aspire to have. And, you know, like the American saying or the American dream, it is very much so an Australian dream. In particular for young people these days to own their own home and to look at further investments.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that we all know and also agree with that most people, especially Australians, love their own properties. And for most people, actually, having a home loan is probably one single most important investment and also largest portion of debt in our lives. And if we think about that, it is actually unavoidable that in our different stage of our life, we have to deal with our own properties matters. Like whether you are going to buy your first home, or maybe you are going to upsize your home because your expansion of the family. You may sell your property because of the relationship breakdown, or you may downsize your home because you are preparing for your retirement. So many events in our life that require us to understand about the process and also understand about the content of it. But I also find it's quite interesting because buying and selling properties or getting home loans are not the type of things that we have to do it day to day. It's not like brushing your teeth or getting your coffee that you know what to do without thinking. And because of that, it's very much like dealing with unknown. So people are starting to feel a little bit anxious and also feeling a little bit stressed about the whole process. So you and I have been talking about this topic and we know each other and also work together for so many years. We both agree that this is actually a very important thing for us and also our audience to know about the process and also all the nitty-gritty things. And that's why we decided to create a series of videos to get your home ready so that you will know exactly what to expect, what to do, and also be able to get your dream home or expand your business or your investment portfolio at ease. So I think that today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick off with this topic as a preparation, because it is one of the most important steps to get your home loan ready and what we need to do before you apply for a home loan. So before we start, V, can I please have you introduce yourself to our audience about how you get into this field?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Winnie. So I guess by way of introduction to everybody that's listening out there, thank you. My name is Vorleak Srey, and I'm from Cambodia originally. So I did migrate to Australia with mum at the age of 7 with no word of English. I fell into banking and finance, more so accounting initially, and this would be now my 16th year in the finance industry.
How
So
old
it's
are you? Sorry, Shrey.
I'm 32 now, so
And then so
half
15
my
years.
lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it has become quite a passion of mine, obviously. Hence the reason why I've stuck in the field for so long. So I fell in love with property actually after joining the bank. And understanding a little bit more about lending at the time, and I really wanted to find, I suppose, something that I could be financially independent through passive income. So I'm, like I said before, I'm 32 now. I hold a portfolio of 5 properties. And my goal is to continue to build on my property portfolio, and also educate others along the way on how they might get into their first home, whether it be that stage of their life, or into the next property investment as such. But off the back of that, when it comes to buying and selling, lending is such an important aspect as part of the process and understanding that process. And I think sometimes the biggest and hardest step can be the first step that we take, and it can be really, really overwhelming. So I remember when I was 18, I bought my first property.
Yep.
And I cried for 2 weeks straight. It was just so, overwhelming. I'll always remember that feeling, and it will be something that stick by me into this day. And now when I deal with clients, it's something that I will draw back my experience on to ensure that, how do we, I suppose, going back to what you're saying is being home loan ready. It's not just about understanding the process or having all the right documentation, but having the right mindset to go into it first. Are you actually ready? And what are you doing it for? Yeah. What is your sense of purpose and why, and what are you trying to achieve? And where do you want to go from here? So having that particular mindset, and being at ease with it all.
Yeah, and I think that one of the reasons V and I are so connected is because we are all like-minded people. There are so many similarities in us. We can say that we probably is one of the most driven and also focused people that we know. But at the same time, I think that one of the things we also mentioned about the financial independence, everyone have their own stories. Everyone also have the reason behind everything, that why they are being so focused on accumulate wealth and also make sure that it's going to be financially fit. And we all have our story. Sometimes the story is going to carry a little bit burden on us. Sometimes it's actually going to be a drive for us to be a better person. So I think that one of the things I like about discussing, especially the how to be independent, how to make sure that we are sharing our knowledge and love with other people with V, is because we understand about when we are going through a lot of experience in life, sometimes that experience are going to be a bitter part, and sometimes it's going to be a sweet part. We'd love to be going through this process with other people and also share that love with other people. And I also think that one of the things that you mentioned about, your first experience having your own home at age 18, that's really amazing. And I remember myself that when I purchased my very first home a couple of years ago, and that was after I finished up my separation and then starting to get into the home loan properties. It actually is a really daunting process, because even though I wanted to get into that, but at the same time, I also feel a little bit fear and anxious about that. And I think that that's also the reason why the reason we're starting to kick off this one, because we think that it's so important for us to understand that not only about the nitty-gritty side of things, it is actually going to touch on with our emotion, also our mindset. So now, since we mentioned about all this, when we're talking about the preparation, I guess just like a lot of people are saying, preparation is the key to success. So what's involved in this preparation stage, and what do we need to know?
Yeah, so preparation can come in multiple different steps, and I think, you know, just to break it down and to make it easy for all our listeners out there, the first thing is, going back to what we were saying before, is, are you ready? So if you set up the right mindset for your next chapter in life, and as Winnie had said, that we all have our own stories, and our story will lead to a different journey. So it's about manifesting what it is that you're wanting from the first step into taking this step and creating your own story and your own life choices. And financial independence could be very different for me than it is for you, Winnie, and for somebody else out there, in terms of what it is that you want and what financial independence looks like for you. The second step would be, you know, to understand, you know, what the lenders are looking for when you are looking for a loan, in terms of your character, what collateral, what you can offer in exchange, your capacity, so your superpower is your income, to identify how much it is that you can borrow, with your monthly commitments and your expenses is really important, your lifestyle. The process itself, from step to step, from, you know, actually collating all your information, getting it through to the lender for assessment, what happens from there. And then we'll touch off as well on, you know, banker or broker. And this is a really interesting topic because it's always been such a big silo. And you and I have both worked in banking before. So stepping from one side now of, you know, banking into now our own businesses, where we can see both sides and the importance of both roles that plays. But who do you see, a banker or a broker? And the importance of that. And then I guess just understanding, you know, the application itself and why the lenders are asking for the information they ask for, like your statements, the length of time that you've lived in a place. It's not just about them wanting to know your information, it's the why behind and what they're looking at here. And then, you know, touching through the costs that are involved throughout the process itself of actually obtaining finance or acquiring a property or an asset, because we want to make sure there's no nasty surprises, and again, being very prepared for that. And then off the back of that as well, it's not just about getting and securing the actual finance itself, it's about what happens after. And that's a really important process that I think people forget, is the initial touch points of reviewing your particular situations.
Wow. Okay. So I can see that in a nutshell, what you just said as a preparation is actually to understand about who is going to get involved, what kind of things is going to be involved, and what to do, how are you going to do it. So I think that especially the very first part we touch on with the emotional set, which is your mindset. Are you going to be in the right mindset to get into this such a big commitment? Like we said, that this could be the biggest debt or biggest investment in life. Do you think that you are ready to have such a big commitments in life? And then we touch on with the things as what you can offer as your assets and also your income. And I quite there are a couple of times I actually find quite interesting that people actually come to us and just said that, you know, I have quite a bit of assets, but at the same time, because I'm retired, I don't really have any income. So this kind of situation happens day to day. I think that we, while we are going through this process and also the series, we definitely is going to have this kind of discussion along the way. I also find that a good thing about V and I is because V has been in the bank and also broker scenario for so long, with so many different type of clientele. So you are going to be able to bring such a fruitful conversation to our clients, while myself as the financial planner by trade and also the business banker as a part of my experience, and now running as a Money DNA financial fitness consultant, my combination of the knowledge is going to really sort of challenge, but at the same time also is going to look at different things in a different dynamic. And I think that that's why I think it's so important for us to have this kind of series to talk about different type of things.
Most definitely, Winnie. I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. So now what will be the key takeaway for today? Because obviously there are going to be quite a bit of things that we're going to touch on in detail. So is there anything that you would like our audience to know, or anything that they need to prepare at this stage?
So I think obviously if you're listening to this already, you've already taken that initial first step to educate yourself on what it looks like to obtain finance or to get to the next stages. So maybe step one in terms of the key takeaways of having a really good mindset of, are you ready? Understanding your personal situation and your goals. So are you a first home buyer? And if you are, then, what is it that you're looking to do in the next 5, 10, 15 years, and having a really good think about that? Or is this now your second property? And if so, then again, what is it that you're wanting to achieve from the next acquisition of the property? Are you wanting to receive passive income from rental yield? Or are you wanting capital growth and setting the mindset across that and the strategies across that? Or going through a touchy subject of maybe separation and divorce. You're at now a milestone of your life where you're needing to separate assets and, go out on your own and buy out the ex, or now you're starting fresh with absolutely a clean slate. Are you ready for the next stages and what that looks like for you? So I think from here, it's just really, really grounding yourself on the mindset piece of, are you ready? And what it is that your goals are and what your strategies are to better move forward to the next stages of understanding and being prepared for a home loan.
Perfect. I think that there are so many questions that you actually stored out there for our audience to listen to. One thing that maybe you and I can do is to maybe list out some of the questions for our audience to think about for our next episode. But in the meantime, if I would like to give some key takeaway for the audience, I actually would like him to just breathe, relax a bit, and also reset your life. 2021 has been such a chaotic time for us. A lot of times we're having so many noises out there, and so many people are going to say that, this is going to be a perfect time for you to get into a real estate market, or this is going to be something that you are going to miss out. So lots of people actually action as a fear of loss or missing out information. So
the other concept of FOMO.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually think that next time when we're going to talk about mindset, what I actually would like people to think about is maybe take a breath and then think about what is going to be the most important thing in your life. What is your priority? What's your core value? If you will be able to think about those things, that would be great. If not, don't worry, because we and I are going to think about a list of the questions for you to start to ponder around. So now, wrapping up, if you like what we share and also think someone may benefit from the content, please like, share, or subscribe our channel. And if you like to book a complimentary consultation about your money DNA, or you'd like to contact Vorleak to discuss about your lending needs, the link and the contact detail will be captured down below. You can also leave your questions and comment below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for joining us today. Keep financially fit and healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.